welcome to Qsports, and thank you very much if you're just joining us. I am Amudu Gajaga, ready to take you through the world of sports. The Gambia women's beach volleyball team wraps up their final warm-up session before they play in the 4x4 World Beach Games in Doha, Qatar, in just a few days. Coach Omar Sisi eyes the WAFU Plate Cup category as his side reached the semi-finals following a penalty shootout victory against Mauritania. A football final in which there was no winner. But what is the reason? Well, of course, it is due to darkness, but there is more to the football game than just the darkness. We would also bring you details about that. Plus, a roundup of African sports on Qsports. Welcome, and if you're just joining us, this is Qsports with me, Mamadou Gajaga. First, let's begin with beach volleyball. The Gambia women beach volleyball team finally wrapped up their training session before they leave for Qatar, where they are going to compete in the 4x4 Anoka World Beach Games for the first time, and they're the only African team in that competition in the women's category. They are going to kickstart in Group B, where they will face first against Australia, and they will play Canada and Vanuatu in this competition. The competition is going to last for just 5 days. It is starting on the 12th of October and end on the 16th of October. I earlier on went to their training ground at the Palmarima Beach to get reactions of some of the players and also the coach. Have a listen. today is your final training session before you depart the Gambia. Looking at your team, how far is your preparation?
Thank you very much, Gajaga. I just want to say the preparation is on high gears, as you can rightly see. Players are preparing, and today is the last day we prepare. We've been training for almost 3 weeks now, and we've been training very hard. I can say very, very, very hard. And we are optimistic that with the training that we have, at least we can come up with better results.
Okay, you've already selected your team, 6 players, and I know this competition is 4x4, so the other 2 players have to be waiting on as reserves. Whenever 2 others are tired, you decide to do your substitutions. Are you very much confident with the players that you've selected?
Really, I am, and I really trust them. Looking at the caliber of players I have right now, this is not the first time they are competing outside. They've been competing. 2 among them recently competed in the All-African Games. And 1 competed in the Youth Games, that is Mariama Jinado. And then Aminata Gay and Seinabu Tamedo have been competing for beach volleyball previously. So definitely I have confidence on them, and I believe with what we have here, we can have a better results, definitely.
If you look at the countries that you are in the same group with, Canada, Australia, it should be a very tough one for you.
To me, they are only names. They are only names. This is volleyball. And Gambia, in terms of volleyball, have already moved forward. And we are not underdogs anymore. The reason why we are competing at the World Big Games is our performance in Africa.
In fact, you are the only African team that's got that?
We are in the female side. In the female side, we are the only African team in the female side. Definitely, Gambia is no more underdog in volleyball. Wherever our name is mentioned in volleyball in the world now, we are known for our performance. So definitely, we are not really scared of the countries that are named. Definitely, we are not, because we are prepared like they are prepared.
Wouldn't you have maybe yearn for anything better in terms of support, sort of a training camp, maybe having friendly internationals with even neighbor Senegal or Mali or somewhere before the competition?
Definitely, any national team will yearn for all those preparation stuff like. But definitely we are really lacking in terms of preparation. So definitely we are urging government to better assist national teams, especially volleyball. We are really behind in terms of preparation. We are not camping for this competition, and this is the highest competition that Gambia has ever participated in terms of volleyball. We are competing at the highest level. So really, we really wanted at least to camp for at least 1 week or 10 days before we go. At least we should have series of test games, at least to better test what we have trained. But nonetheless, all of those things we are lacking. But nonetheless, that wouldn't stop us from moving forward, or that wouldn't stop us from focusing up to what we want. We are really focused, and this is what we want, that Gambia will be named among those top countries at the World Beach Game. That is our focus now, and we are really prepared for that, definitely.
Best of luck in the competition.
Thank you very much.
You're about to take off for this international competition. As a female beach volleyball player, how does it feel to be part of this competition?
I am very, very proud of myself because I was training for a long period of time just to join for these beach volleyball games. So now I can play very well to participate for the Gambia. It's been a while I don't play beach volleyball, but now I can play it. I am very, very prepared for myself.
Okay, the Gambia recently took gold in the African Games in the beach volleyball in the male category. The female also did very well. Does that give you an extra motivation and confidence that we can go there and even do better?
Yes, we are very prepared to make it for this game. If we go, we make the same. We want to make the girls have a good history to pay off like what the boys did to the all African Games.
Wish you all the best then.
Yes, thank you.
And still on the Gambia, but this time we are going to talk about football. The WAFU Cup of Nations 2019 in Senegal hasn't been a good tournament for the Gambia so far. Although they were able to make an avenge after that shock defeat to Ghana, they lost by a goal to nil, even after getting a penalty in the last minute of the game, so they would have the chance to equalize. But later on, in the plate category, they were able to knock out Mauritania in a post-match penalty shootout following a 0-0 draw. And it has to be said, there was a part of the game that they dominated against their fellow West African rivals. To get some highlights about the game, let's give you this piece.
So a 4 entry.
A turn for Ghana, yes!
So that says the moment that you've been waiting for. It is Joseph Esso with that goal for the Ghanaians. He's been waiting for his moment to hit the back of the net.
Champions have done extremely well in this game. It is not as if they have been poor and erratic.
Well, decision has come in with a penalty to the Gambia. Mohamed Al-Hassan thought he has picked up the ball, and yet he brings down Sar, and this is a penalty decision. And the Ghanaians will contest this one. 2 years ago, got a decision against them. And guess what? 10 minutes to end the game. This is a decision against Mohamed Al-Hassan. And Gambia will say thank you, at least to Muhammad Ali for that decision. But they have a penalty here against Ghana. For entry. Gambia want to get an equalizing goal. It is Chom gets the woodwork, comes back. Gambia missing a chance to get onto the game, and the Ghanaians will be up.
Now to a football final which failed to produce a winner. Even penalty shootouts after the game could not separate the two sides. The two teams are Diba Oil of Karantaba, that is in Jara, and Pakalinding FC. It was described to be an end-to-end trailing finish between the two sides. Our Qsports reporter Babukar C was at the Summer Mini Stadium to watch the match, and here are some of the details from him.
The Kute Jombulu football tournament, sponsored by the National Assembly member for Jara West, Kajali Fofana, brought together 11 teams to compete in the 7-month-long tournament. Thousands of football lovers in Jara and the surrounding villages came to watch the final, but to the disappointment of the fans, no goal was registered in the 90 minutes and the game headed into penalties. During the sport kick decider, all the players of both sides took part and all of them scored with the exception of one player from each team. The two teams stood their ground, refusing to crack. In the end, the referee had no choice but to call a halt to the game as it was getting too dark to see. The tournament committee will now have to reschedule the game at a later date. Ibrahima Job, Diba Oil Academy head coach, and Ibrahima Sow, head coach of Pakalindin, both had this to say.
To be honest, I don't have nothing to say about my team because they did well. What I expect from them is what they did. So I don't have nothing to say, to be honest. This is football.
What I have is now like to go back and then, you know, because we already identified our mistakes, and we have also developed. We are going to develop other tactics that we are going to use in order to punish our opponents for sure.
Honorable Kajali Fofana, who sponsored the tournament, said the aim of staging the competition is to bring the youths together.
In as much as they are united, I am behind them. Because that was my objective. That was my promise I made to the people of Jara when I was nominated. Whenever I am elected to the National Assembly, my first objective, my first work to do in this area is to unite the people for good. And football is one of the instruments that we can use to unite the boys.
The chairman of Jara West District Football Committee, Mr. Demba Yafa, used the opportunity to donate a set of jersey and 3 brand new footballs to the Jara West District football team, who are set to battle it out with Central River Region in the ongoing 3rd Division qualifiers for a spot in the 2nd Division.
Now we are going to take a short break. When we come back, the Qsports show will continue. Welcome back, and thank you very much if you're just joining us. This is Qsports on QTV. Finally, let's have a look at what has been happening in African sports over the last week. Babukar C can bring us up to speed with the latest in African sports in general.
Let's begin in Nigeria, where there was drama at the Agege Stadium in Lagos on Monday evening, as the Super Falcons were eliminated on the away goal rule after their second leg round clash against Cote d'Ivoire on a 1-1 draw after the first leg ended on a goalless stalemate. The Nigeria Football Federation officials and their counterparts from Cote d'Ivoire had to cross-check what the FIFA and CAF rule says on the away goals to decide outcomes of two-legged fixtures. In the game proper, the Falcons started the game on a promising note as Gift Monday let fly a shot at the edge of the Ivorian box but agonizingly missed the target. After the 1-1 draw, the Ivorian side resorted to time wasting, which paid off for them, and the final whistle went before the confusion all started. Elsewhere, Paris Saint-Germain's Brazil international defender Marquinhos has pointed out the importance of beating Senegal and Nigeria in their friendlies in October. He revealed that he is impressed with the quality of the Super Eagles and the Teranga Lions, and highlighted that the West African teams have players in the ranks with physical attributes. Senegal and Nigeria finished in the top 3 positions at the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations and are ranked 20th and 34th respectively in the latest FIFA ranking. When asked to comment on the Nigeria and Senegal teams, Marquinhos told the reporters at Monday's press conference, "I know a lot and know their qualities. Senegal is runner-up of the African Cup, a very intense, difficult team to play against. We have to make a big game, impose our rhythm. They are very intense opponents, aggressive with physical imposition and technical game too. We see great players playing in the major European leagues, many of them in France." The Brazil national team held their first training session in Singapore on Monday, ahead of their friendlies against Senegal on the 10th of October and Nigeria on the 13th. And finally, Kenya finished second overall behind the United States of America at the 2019 World Athletics Championship that ended on Sunday in Doha with a total of 11 medals. The team won 5 gold medals, 2 silver and 4 bronze in Doha, matching her performance at the 2017 edition of the championship held in London 2 years ago. This year, the team lost 2 titles it won in London 2 years ago, when the country failed to retain men's marathon title and women's 1,500-meter crown. But Kenya also won the women's 3,000 meter steeplechase and women's marathon titles, which it did not win in London. Kenya's first gold medal came in the women's marathon on the 4th day of the championship, when Ruth Chepngetich timed 2 hours, 32 minutes and 43 seconds to win. They also retained men's 3,000 meter steeplechase gold medal that the country had won in the 2017 World Championship in London through Consensus Kipruto. Jamaica finished third with 12 medals of 3 gold medals, 5 silver medals and 4 bronze. Ethiopia finished 5th with a total of 8 medals of 2 gold, 5 silver and 1 bronze, while Uganda finished 9th with 2 gold medals and 2 bronze. The 2021 edition of the championship will be held in Egwen, Oregon. Back to you, Gajaga.
With that, we say thank you very much for watching Q Sports. Keep on sporting until we come your way next week. Bye for now.